Peace, ladies. So this video is going to be about the importance of timing when it comes to initiating a conversation, especially when you are trying to express how you feel about something. I hate it when women come to me and they're like, okay, I'm trying to work on my communication and I'm working on my facial expressions and my body language and their choice of words, and they're improving in all these areas, but they're still not feeling heard. Their man still isn't hearing them out. Now, there are other factors that might play a role into why that may be. However, I always challenge my ladies to always check themselves first and see what it is you can do to improve things on your end first and foremost. And one thing I do notice is a lot of women have a really hard time when it comes with understanding when it is and is not a good time to initiate a conversation, and timing is very important. So in this video, I'm going to give you 7 areas that you really want to observe, or 7 things that you want to be mindful of before you go into initiating any of these tough conversations. Okay? So the first thing that you want to pay attention to is your man's physicality. All right, and I think this one is more obvious. Is he tired? Does he need rest? If he's sleepy, this is not the time to have a conversation. Has he eaten? Is he hungry? Is he in pain? Is he talking about having a headache or a backache? Is he sick? Is he ill, right? If so, this is not the time to try to have a tough conversation. This is the time to bring out your nurturing side and show your concern for his overall well-being. So that's one. Number 2 is going to be his focus. Can you clearly see that this man is already concentrating on something else? Is he on a work call? Is he behind his laptop or behind his computer? Is he working? If you look at him, can you tell that he is deep in thought? Is he fixated on solving a different problem? If you can tell that his focus is already elsewhere, this is not the time to try to distract him and bring on some other problem to his plate. This is the time for you to either be supportive or just give him that space that he needs in order to critically think, strategically plan, or whatever it is he's trying to do. 9 times out of 10, he's trying to problem solve, and so when you come to him to add another problem to the plate, it can be kind of annoying, and you're probably going to get a very frustrated, agitated response from him if you do break that concentration in that moment. So that is something else you want to be aware of. Number 3, you want to pay attention to just his overall mood. You can usually tell by just looking at your man, if he's visibly upset. Is he stomping around the house? Is he slamming doors? You can tell by his breathing pattern. Is he breathing really heavy? Or maybe maybe he's not angry, but maybe he just looks kind of down and depressed. Is he like slumped over? Really paying attention to his cues, his social cues, his body language. Just looking at your man, checking out his energy. If he's already visibly upset, again, this is not the time to try to talk about something that is probably just going to make him more upset. Again, you're just adding more problems to his plate. This is a time for you to be supportive, for you to be compassionate, for you to be a listening ear, or for you, again, to just say, hey, I'm here if you need to talk, and then again, give him that space. This is not the time for you to go in there and just add more worries, more stressors, more burdens, more problems, okay? When you do these things, when you go into and try to have these conversations without acknowledging these areas that I just listed, it really does make you seem very inconsiderate, very selfish, and very much so unfeminine. You don't seem like a caregiver or a nurturer at all. Right? The 4th thing that you want to pay attention to are any recent events. So let's say he got some bad news about a friend or a loved one, recently, or one of his plans just didn't go through the way he thought it would. He might have missed out on a good opportunity. He might have missed. He might have gambled his money away, bet on a fight or a game or something, I don't know. But recent events, just think about some things that have just recently happened in his life that might affect his focus, his mood, or his physicality. It can affect all of that. But just pay attention to those things. Again, in these moments, it's time for you to be more supportive. This is not the time for you to try to have a tough conversation. The 5th thing that you want to pay attention to, and this one is very, very important, if he has recently expressed his concerns to you or has made a request of you and you have not yet done anything about what he has asked asks you to do. So if he says, hey, I need you to work on your tone, or I need you to be a little bit more cooperative, or whatever it is he may have come to you with. If you know that you have not yet put in the effort to make adjustments in that areas, or you don't have a plan yet, you haven't done anything about what he's asked you to do, then it would be so selfish, and it's really a demonstration of entitlement, really, when you come to him making your request or expressing how you feel, and you've completely just dismissed or disregarded what he came to you with, right? So if he's, don't do that. If he's already said to you, I need you to work on this, or this is how I feel about that, and you haven't done anything about it, just the audacity of you to think it's okay to go and initiate a conversation after that. That is not the time, all right? Number 6, you want to pay attention to what he is actually talking about. I often find that when men are having conversations with their women, she'll listen, and she'll seem as though she's being attentive, and she's like, and the whole time she's thinking about what she wants to express, what she wants to say to him, what she wants to ask of him, which boundaries she wants to set with him, right? So he could be talking about business goals, he could be talking about plans he has, he could be talking about some bright ideas, right, that he has, and the whole time she seems like she's into it, and she's like, yeah, and then when it's time for her to respond, she's like, okay, well, off topic, I know this is what you were just talking about, but I really want to talk to you about something else. And it's like, don't do that. You know what I mean? If you're having a discussion about whatever it is you're having a discussion about, let that be the topic of discussion. Don't change the topic because it just sounds like, again, you're not listening, you're not being attentive, you're not being observant, you're really just focused on what it is you want to say, and you could care less about whatever it is he's thinking, what he's expressing, whatever it is he's trying to share with you in that moment. And that just is very selfish. And lastly, number 7, your cycle. Keep track of when your cycle is coming on. Now, this might not be something that all of us need to worry about, but those of us that know that our moods can be a little unpredictable the week prior to our cycle starting, you do want to be mindful of that. That is not the time to try to have a tough conversation. It's probably not going to go very well. Write it down. Whatever it is that you have to express, write it down, and then after your cycle starts or after it's over, then go back and kind of read what it is you were going to express, and I guarantee you, you're probably going to look at it like, I can't believe that I was going to say that to him, so just wait. Like, use that time to reflect, use that time to journal, take care of yourself, but that is not the time to try to initiate a conversation when your mood is already like up and down, okay? So hopefully this helps. Try to implement these things in order to help you improve your communication and to give you a better chance of being heard, okay? Peace and much love.